Alright guys, I know Columbina is coming up soon and all of us want to pull for her and skip Durin, but believe me when I say this, Durin is way more important than some of you guys think. I'm not kidding when I say this. For some of you watching this video, he's going to be way more important than Columbina. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not even because of his damage or anything, but rather because of his insane value as a support in the future. So without wasting any time, let's get right into it. First of all, if you don't want to miss out on Durin and potentially get a free Welkin, let me introduce you to my partner, rushbuy.gg. It is a very trusted and safe way to top up at a much cheaper price. I've personally tried it and I can confirm that it's safe to use. To get a guaranteed free Welkin on top of your purchase, all you have to do is to enter your UID plus the server that you play on. You can also use my code to get an additional 15% discount, and as long as you spend more than $3, you will get a free Welkin on top of your purchase until the 7th of December. And before someone asks, no, you're not gonna get banned or anything. They're using official authorized top-up services, and as I said, I've used it myself and I had a very good experience with it, so there's no need to worry. That aside, I'm also personally giving away 5 Welkins, so make sure to be subscribed to this channel, comment your Genshin UID and server, join my Discord, and now let's get back to the video. Alright, so as we all know, everyone is talking about Columbina, but for some reason, nobody seems to realize that Durin might actually be one of the most important characters for the future of your account. Not because of what he does right now, but because of his value later on. I'm telling you guys, once you see how Varka, Nicole, and even Alice tie into this, you will understand why pulling Durin could be such a huge deal. First, let me give you guys a quick summary of his kit and why it has so much potential. Basically, you just drop the burst, deal some damage, activate his off-field pyro application, and that's pretty much how you play him. So it's nothing special, right? The real value of his kit isn't the pyro application or his damage, which is already great. It's actually the way he works with characters who are part of the new Hexerai mechanic. Durin can trigger the Hexerai secret right effect as long as there is at least one Hexerai character in the party. While in the Dragon of White Flame or Dragon of Dark Decay form, all enhancement effects except the duration are increased by 75%. Right now, the only characters who work with that mechanic are these old Mondstadt characters. But here's the thing, and now I want you guys to activate your brain cells because this one is really important. Remember how every character that came out recently needs a dedicated support? Nefer, Flint's, Skirk, whoever you can name, everyone has that one support that they completely rely on. Now, who is coming up soon? We got Varka in version 5.4, and then Alice plus Nicole in version 6.6 or 6.7. And it doesn't take a genius to realize that all of these characters will be part of the same Hexerai mechanic. So these characters will not only buff each other, they're gonna have shared mechanics, they're gonna profit off each other's passives, and they're designed to fit into each other's teams almost perfectly. And Durin is the first piece of this puzzle. It's the same pattern Hoyoverse already used before, only this time Varka and probably even Alice are going to completely rely on Durin in their team. This is exactly why Durin doesn't have a dedicated role yet. Sure, he's great in a lot of teams and he's a very solid support in general, but he doesn't have that one team that everyone has to use him in, and that's why he will be the best in slot support for Varka and maybe even Alice or Nicole, as I already said. And before someone says I'm lying or something, this has already been confirmed by HXG. Varka plus Durin plus some other magic characters will form a team. Durin will buff Scaramouche, now this part is questionable, and Varka is an upgrade to Scaramouche, which is also pretty obvious. And then it says if Varka is in a magic team, so a Hexerai team, he doesn't need Faruzan at all, which once again implies that you want to be using him in a Hexerai team. So that alone should already explain it, but there's actually another leak that confirms this even more. We can ignore all the other stuff. The only thing that really matters here is this. Durin and Varka are classified as Hexenzirkel / magic characters, and their teams will be Hexenzirkel only teams, or in other words, they will heavily rely on Hexarite synergies. So as you guys can see, I think it's pretty clear where Hoyoverse is going with this. Obviously, we can't say for sure, but it seems like Durin will essentially be the core buffer or the main support you're gonna have to use with all the upcoming Hexarite characters. And speaking of the upcoming Hexarite characters, Nicole is also confirmed to be Pyro, which means she could have a kit similar to Escoffier, where you're gonna have to use her with Pyro characters, especially since both Durin and Alice are going to be Pyro as well. And as for Alice, I think we all know she's gonna be a Pyro DPS, and a lot of people are speculating she's gonna be even stronger than Mavuika. And I mean, if we look at her lore and her design and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if she power creeps Mavuika. But anyway, the entire point of this video is whenever there's a new main DPS, Hoyoverse always ties them to a specific support. And since Durin doesn't have a dedicated role yet, he will be the best in slot support for Varka, and Alice will not be an exception either. The only reason why I'm slightly skeptical about Durin being the best in slot support for Alice is because we're also getting Nicole, and she might be the best in slot support for Alice instead of him. But even then, adding Durin to the team is still going to provide a huge buff. So yeah, it's safe to say that Durin will play a very significant role for now. Now, the only question that remains is who actually needs to care about this, and is he a must pull or not? Well, it depends on your account. If you have pulled for any of the Notcry 5 stars so far, and you want to pull for Columbina, you don't really have to worry about getting Durin unless you're planning to get Varka as well. In that case, you either spend some money or you skip Columbina for Durin. It's kind of a complicated situation because Durin is not really a must pull if you don't care about the upcoming Hexarite characters, but Columbina is a must pull if you want to get the White Horse Adeptus and you just play a lot of Notcry teams. For anyone planning to pull one or more of the Hexarite characters, I'd argue that Durin becomes kind of a must pull, but it's really hard to say. If you're not sure about Varka or Alice, you can also skip Durin and get him on his rerun, so it's not the end of the world. I just have this suspicion, I just have this weird feeling that he's gonna have a lot of value, and it's not just because of the Hexarite buffs either. He's a really good support even without that, so either way, he's going to be a good character to have on pretty much any account. As for Columbina, the beta is going to start in a few days. We'll have to see how good she is. I'll let you guys know as soon as we get some actual information. But with that being said, the giveaway winners will be revealed in my Discord, so make sure to join, check out Rushby, let me know in the comments if you are pulling for Durin or not, and as always, I wish everyone a nice and wonderful day.